Tommy, from the look of it, we've come to the drag race with two identical Honda Civics.
The legend, the Honda Civic Si, but we've also brought along a Honda Civic Hybrid, which may seem kind of dumb until you learn what's under the hood of both of these cars. Cars, that sound like a Wisconsiners. Cars.
All right, in 3, 2, 1, go.
Whoa, look at that little CVT go!
Come on, SI. Whoa, beautiful!
Hey everybody, Tommy here. My apologies for this little transition. We had some audio issues in the stand-ups of this video, but I want to talk you through why we're doing this seemingly crazy drag race, because the Civic Si makes 200 horsepower and 192 pound-feet of torque. It has historically been a fun-to-drive performance version of the Civic, but the new hybrid, well, things get really interesting with this hybrid because it makes the same 200 horsepower, but it makes more torque. 232 pound-feet of torque. Now that's going through a CVT instead of a 6-speed manual, but the question is, at a mile above sea level, which one's going to be quicker? One other thing worth noting, the Si in this video is a sedan. It's the only way you can get the Si, whereas the Civic Hybrid that we're testing is a hatchback, so a slight difference there. It weighs about 200 and maybe 250 pounds more than the Si, but this should be a really cool race. Let's cut to that right now.
All right, Case, now before we get going, I think we should do a quick rev battle to see what these two Civics sound like. So why don't you go first? All right, okay, so not terrible, not amazing, but at least you can hear a little something something.
Yeah, let's see what the hybrid sounds like, Tommy.
Here we go. Nothing! It won't let me rev at all!
Yeah, I guess that makes sense why you can't see the exhaust pipe on that car. There's not much to hear.
So here's what we're gonna do, Case. We're both in sport mode. We both got traction control off, and then I'm just gonna launch us. 3, 2, 1, go. And when I say go, we both go as quick as we can to the quarter mile.
Sounds good. You'll be the better person to launch us because I'm gonna need both hands.
Here we go. In 3, 2, 1, go. Good even launch. Wow, look at that little CVT go.
Come on, SI.
It is screaming. It's holding 100% here.
Come on, it's gaining on him.
The Case is making a comeback.
Whoa, beautiful.
Look at that at 75 miles an hour. He's just blowing past me. Oh, right. Wow.
And more than 90 miles an hour across the line.
That was a good race.
Took it a second to get spooled up with the turbo.
Wow, dude. So the electric torque got us off the line, but then once we were moving, that turbo power came in.
Yeah, it took just a little bit for that turbo to spool up, and you know, I was going through the gears as fast as possible, but eventually down the line it did catch up. I will admit though, your electric powertrain is pretty quick off the line.
Yeah, and what's interesting is that this car kind of simulates shifts when you're driving around on an everyday basis, but when you give it like a brake torque and then ask for all the beans, it holds it at a constant RPM, which is actually the quickest way to get a CVT down a quarter mile. So it doesn't sound very cool, but that's the quickest way for a CVT to maintain its peak power band. But I'll give you credit, Case. You drove that car really well. Now I'm going to give it a try. We're going to swap cars, and then at the end we'll reveal the quarter mile times for both cars.
Tommy, welcome to the interior of the Si. Why'd you pick the back seat?
Because you look more sporty than I do, and you deserve the more sporty front seat.
That's interesting. There are two front seats, so you could have picked that. But since you didn't, we can see that the Si has a red and black pattern on it, which is pretty cool. This is still cloth, which I actually kind of like. It says Si on the seat. And then coming to the center console, this is what we care about. This is the 6-speed manual. How nice.
It actually looks really good. It's kind of this leather wrapped knob, which is fantastic with the little metal uppers. And then this is a really well equipped car. So you get the 9-inch touchscreen display, you get heated front seats, you get dual USB-C outlets, dual zone automatic climate control, and then over on the steering wheel you've got stuff like adaptive cruise control, lane centering, full digital dash.
And I've got shift lights even in front of me, which is kind of cool, but there are a few omissions. I don't have a wireless charger, which is a little funky, but that being said, this car is $32,000, so by today's standards and with a sunroof and some of the features that we do have.
Case, these bucket seats, they kind of hold you in.
Yeah, I would say that the seats over here in the hybrid are more comfortable. And like you did last time, I'll count us off this time around since you've got a transmission to work.
Oh, but there is one thing I hate in here. Electronic parking brake on the manual transmission.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to find anything that doesn't give you that configuration, but still having the option for 3 pedals is pretty good.
Dude, this thing actually feels a lot different when you just get behind the wheel. I thought that, you know, the experience would be largely the same because the cars are so similar, but you know, just hearing that little 1.5 go, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, the SI, one thing that it hasn't lost over the years is that it is fun to drive.
All right, let's do this again whenever you're ready, my dude.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, I was asleep at the switch on the start because I was so busy watching Tommy. But I start to gain on him with this powertrain. Well, let's see if he keeps up.
Oh, for hell's sake.
Not quite. We have for time. Yes, I did a 1614.
Oh, what the heck, Case?
Wow. Well, it seems like this hybrid, even though I was asleep at the switch on that start, this hybrid might be getting faster because I did a 1614 in my quarter mile when I was in the SI, and I just did a 1543 in the quarter mile here on the hybrid.
Wow, so Case was not only faster, I mean, we got to do it one more time. We got to see what happens. So the first race, the SI won at a 16:15. The second race, the hybrid won at a 15:34. So we got to do one more race to see what's going on.
I will say, I don't know, not that it doesn't make any difference, but I'd be surprised if it makes so dramatic of a difference. I did switch the AC off here in the hybrid. Did you have it on during the race?
Great point. I had it on during the race, but I would be surprised if it would have that big of a difference. I wonder if maybe on the way back down to the start line, we were able to regen some electricity into the battery to get a higher charge in the battery. Here, we'll do one more race, and we'll see what happens in the third tiebreaker.
Welcome to a luxury Case. Heated leather seats.
Yeah, you do have leather. My seats were heated, but not so leathery, but cooler looking.
It's actually pretty interesting how similar these cars are on the inside considering the price difference, because this Civic Sport Touring comes in at nearly $35,000.
Oh, so a couple $1,000s more expensive. And I will say that this interior in some ways, especially the leather, is more upscale, but definitely not quite as special feeling because it doesn't have those colorful accents. It is pretty muted.
Both have Bose, they both have the sunroof, they both have the 9-inch screen with the Google connected services and wireless Android Auto and CarPlay, so a lot of similarities here. They both have leather wrapped steering wheels, they both have digital gauge clusters even, but this is, you know, some $3,000-$4,000 more expensive.
So those cars are doing AC off. Do you have that little hybrid charge indicator on your left side? What does it say you're at?
It shows me being at a full charge over there, so that might help.
Okay, both cars AC off. Let's see what happens on this final tiebreaker race.
All right, in 3, 2, 1, go.
Good launch in the SI.
Come on, hybrid. I've got to say, for 200 horsepower, the car has a bit of pull, which is not bad. I'm a little impressed. I'm a lot impressed, to be honest. Go hybrid. I kind of want the SI to win, though.
Okay, so here's what we learned. It was either the AC or the battery percentage in that hybrid, because I just ran the exact same time you ran in the SI. So we both ran a 16.1. I ran a 16.19. He ran like a 16.15. So near as makes no difference. But the hybrid is running like mid-15s. Very interesting, huh, dude?
Yeah, I'm pretty surprised. And I'll tell you what, it's possible that you would have some slightly different results if you weren't at altitude here, because these electric motors that are a part of this hybrid powertrain do well up here at altitude, but so does a turbocharged powertrain like what you've got in the SI, so it's tough to say.
Yeah, that was about as good as I think we're going to get this SI, because I got a really good launch and we both nailed our shift points, and 16.1 consistently, but that hybrid is mid-15s consistently with the AC off and with the battery charged up. So let's see what happens in the roll race. Do you want to switch back or you want to stay where we're at?
Might as well stick in the cars that we're in now. We'll do a 30-mile-per-hour roll race and see if taking the launch out of the equation gives us a different result.
It's interesting, actually, a little bit of time now in the Civic, you can really feel some of the suspension tuning differences. Now, tires, I got a slightly sportier tire on this SI. I've got a summer tire versus your all-season, but this ride is definitely firmer, and that ride is definitely more compliant, and I think that this car in general is cheaper and just more fun. Even though that hybrid is quicker, we proved it, at least at a mile above sea level, this SI is it's a really fun little car.
And the manual transmission and that tighter suspension, slightly grippier tire makes that SI such a different driving experience. Even if it's not in the real world any faster, it feels a lot more fun to drive.
All right, dude, should we do this?
Yeah, let's go and let's get rolling 30, and once we're at that speed, I will count us down a 3, 2, 1, go, and we'll hammer down.
All right, here we go. Now, I'll be curious to see, now that we've got some speed in it, is the 250 pounds or so lighter that the SI is.
In 3, 2, 1, go.
A little bit of turbo lag, no lag in that hybrid. In a third, it's neck and neck.
He's not bad, and he's staying right there next to me.
Oh, come on, SI!
But I'm holding him off, although he's aiming.
Oh, man!
Wow, that was a good race.
Well, geez, look, if we had like another 1/8 of a mile, I for sure would have caught you, because at speeds over, let's say 75, 80, the SI starts gaining, but in normal cruising speeds, that hybrid is really quick.
Yeah, I was impressed. That was a pretty good race. I was holding you off for a little bit there, but you started to gain in a big way at the end. These cars are so closely matched, and it makes a lot of sense. That's part of why we wanted to do this comparison, because on paper, they could be, well, they're almost the same.
All right, let's do our brake test from 60 mile an hour, and then we'll see which one is a better performer. I should win this in the SI, because I've got a couple 100 pounds less than you do.
There's 60 miles.
All right, I got 60 there.
Oh yeah.
Won that by quite a big margin. Let's get out the stick of truth, the wheel of justice. Stick of truth is Matt Watson, I think. Final number, Case. What'd you do in the Civic in the brake test?
Braking test, 142 feet, 8 inches.
And that's in the I keep saying Civic as if we both don't have gray Civics. That's the
yeah.
Civic hybrid. So there we have it, 25-foot difference. That's a 117 feet. Now, I think a lot of that, Case, you talked about weight, but we're also running a Goodyear Eagle F1, which is a true performance summer tire on this SI, versus the Assurance by Goodyear on the Civic hybrid.
This is definitely a more aggressive, grippier tire. That is a tire that you would be more likely to run all year long, especially if you live in a place like we do here in Colorado. But that's just a demonstration of how the way that these cars drive boils down to a lot more than just what you see in the drag race.
That's exactly right. So final results, we ran the tests a bunch of times, Case and I switched, and what we found consistently, the Civic Si runs 16.1, every time, and then a hybrid, if you turn the AC off and if you have a full battery, it'll run closer to like 15.4.
And if all you care about is straight line acceleration and fuel economy, then this hybrid would be the obvious choice. but that SI still gets good fuel economy. That one in particular, and the way that it's spec'd, is less expensive than this hybrid, and it is definitely more fun to drive.
Yeah, and in a future video, a cool follow-up would be to get these on a road course to see the handling differences. They're both fun to drive, but this SI is just so much more engaging. So this is the one for me, even though it's slower.
Yeah, I agree, especially because it's less expensive. But let us know what you all in the comments down below think, and that's all for this video.
We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Head over to alltfl.com where we got more videos for you coming soon.
This man ready to roll.
Ready. Boop.
Arr!
It's like a pirate's
This is what a pirate does. Yar!
I don't think that's true.
Gross. I need to do it again. I got a good launch, but then I forgot how a transmission works.
There's the back portion of sunglasses here. Where are you going?
with his song.
With his song.
This is what happens when Case sees a Toyota. We're not including this, Mary. No, Mary!